We're staying in the design intent.dwg file, and what we're going to look at now is using annotative scaling to get our dimensions to display more accurately. And what we'll also do as well is just make sure that we resize the bolting plate plan text and the notes text to fit nicely into the A3 landscape layout as well. So you'll notice that the dimensions aren't displaying very well at all at the moment. They're very small and tiny. If you select that viewport that we placed previously, you'll notice down on the status bar that the viewport scale is set to 1:5. Hit Escape to deselect that and then jump back into the Model tab down here, bottom left. If you zoom out a bit, you'll see that there's all our information in our model space. We don't need the title block that we created previously. That can be selected and deleted. We've already copy and pasted that into the A3 landscape tab. Now the dimensions themselves need to become annotative. Now in order to do that, we need to make sure that our dimension style is also annotative. So in our Home tab on the ribbon, go to the annotation flyout there, go to Dimension Style like we did previously, and you'll notice our training dimension style doesn't have the little annotative logo next to it. So we click on Modify, we go to the Fit tab on the ribbon, and we just tick annotative right there like so, and we click on OK. And then we close that particular dialog box, just quickly checking that training now has the annotative logo next to it. Now, the dimensions that we've already placed will not be annotative. That's just one of the ways that AutoCAD works. So we've got to select these dimensions that we've already placed. So I'll select them like so, and then we right click and we go to Properties. Now you'll notice they're not annotative in the Properties palette there. So we select, click on the down arrow and make them annotative. We then need to apply the same annotation scale as our viewport, which is 1:5. So if I click there and click on that little box there, you can see that we've only got 1:1, which was the annotation scale that we placed when we originally placed the dimensions. I'll click on Add. I want 1:5 in there and I'll OK it. So there's my 1:5 there. We don't actually need the 1:1 anymore because we're not going to use that. So I can actually delete that if I want to. Click on OK and the dimensions have now updated to an annotation scale of 1:5. Close the Properties palette and a quick sanity check now. If I go to the A3 Landscape tab, you'll notice there the dimensions have all updated in the viewport. So if I zoom in now, can you see they're all readable? They're all nice and neat and tidy in our 1:5 viewport. However, the text is all looking a bit, the bolting plate plan and the notes don't fit in the viewport. Ideally, text like that should be placed in the Layout tab anyway. So if I go back to the Model tab now, what I'll do is I'll select bolting plate and plan first. Let's just select those first. Right click and using the clipboard again, we'll just copy them. We don't need to copy with base point. And then just hit Escape to deselect and delete those ones there. And you're thinking, hang on, he's deleting them. Yeah, but we've got them on the clipboard as well, so don't panic. We then go back to the A3 Landscape tab. And what I'm going to do is zoom out a bit and then right click, clipboard, paste. And there's the text right there. Now it's way too big. So I'm going to select it, right click, Properties, change the height of the text now to 5mm instead of 50 and press Enter and then close the Properties palette and there's the text there. What I'm going to do is just hit Escape a couple of times to deselect it and select just the top bit of the text and click on the grip, and I'll just hover over that corner there and just drag that down a bit. Using a bit of object snap tracking and polar tracking there, hit Escape to deselect. If I zoom in a bit, there's the bolting plate text. I now need the plan text. Again, select it, click on the grip, hover over that corner there and just drag vertically down a little bit with the polar tracking. Place it about there, hit Escape to deselect. So you can see now that I've deleted the text from the model space and you can see it's gone in the viewport as well, but it's now in the Layout tab at an appropriate height. Now we need to do the same with the notes, so we go back to Model, like so, and we select the Notes multi-line text now, and again it's a right click, clipboard, copy. And then with that text selected we delete it. We then go back to the A3 Layout tab, and what we'll do is we'll right click, clipboard and paste again, and there it is there. It's quite large, you'll notice. Just click about there to the right of the drawing this time. And again, select it, right-click and Properties. And we'll change the height this time to 3.5 in the Properties palette. And press Enter. And you can see it gets very, very small. You can see it there, like so. Close the Properties palette. Click on the grip there and just bring it into the top right corner. Zoom in a bit. And you can see it lining in neatly there. Click there like so. Hit Escape to deselect. Now, it's multi-line text, so it will have that column drag thing that I showed you previously. And we'll zoom in, select it, and you can see there, look, it's way over here. So just click and drag, bring that in so it fits nicely into the layout to about there. And you can see that all sits nice and neatly. Hit Escape to deselect, and you've now got your notes and your title sitting in the A3 Landscape tab with a viewport that's scaled, and the annotative scaling is set up nicely for the dimensions as well.